Hi guys, welcome to a Game Week 29 review and a Game Week 30 preview. As you can see on the screen at the moment, my Game Week 29 went okay. I got 59 points, but I did make 3 transfers for a -8. Um, but they were more long-term moves. Two of them were at least. So I was okay to take the -8. And I went up 20k in the rankings, broke into the top 100k for um, yet again this season after dropping out. But yeah, as you can see on screen, were a few of the players that got me a lot of points. Rafinha, Bamford, Dunk, Lingard, and Kane were my main point scorers. I'll show you on the next slide. So this is my team. Unfortunately, Reguilon went off, obviously with only a couple of minutes before the clean sheet bonus, which was a bit annoying. Um, Martinez, Konsa, Tierney, and Reguilon all with 1 pointers. But yeah, Dunk, Rafinha, Lingard, Kane, and Bamford, as I mentioned, propping up the scoreboard. Captain Kane, if I did it again, I would have captained Kane. I think Kane's EO, and just obviously he was one of the only premiums, well, the only premium that I had playing. So for me, it was always going to be Kane. But looking ahead to this week, there are some very good fixtures to target. So I thought I'd do another buy, hold, sell, avoid series. In terms of buying, I see everyone on Twitter raving about Chelsea defenders, saying, is Aspie nailed? Is Rudiger nailed? Some people are going with a 1 week punt before they wildcard next week. So I just thought I'd put on some stats on each one of them. These are their fixtures at the top. So obviously they've got great fixtures: West Brom at home, Palace away, Brighton at home, West Ham away, and then Fulham at home. So that's a great run of fixtures. But I just thought we'd have a look at who we think is the best option. Should you double up? Should you triple up? Triple up, I think, might be a bit much, but double up definitely sounds good from Chelsea. For Chelsea's point of view, their defense has been rock solid under Thomas Tuchel. So here we are. We have the prices. Obviously, Aspie, you're paying more money, but he's guaranteed to start. He started the last 5 out of 5 Premier League matches. He hasn't missed a Premier League game under Tuchel. I think the only time he was rested was in the FA Cup last week, before the international break against Sheffield. So he's absolutely guaranteed, but he is the priciest, the um, joint highest price wise. He's 5.8 and Chilwell's 5.8. So starts obviously cost more. However, for 1 million less, Rudiger has started the last 5 Premier League matches. However, when you look at the international break minutes in the fourth column, he played 270 minutes. That's every single minute for Germany in their international break. So could we see maybe a Pep roulette coming in with Chelsea? Chelsea have a lot of defensive options at the moment. Could we see perhaps Thiago Silva come back in the middle instead of Christensen? Could we see Christensen playing left? Could we potentially see Kurt Zuma play on the left? He obviously went away with France. So one of those players I feel is going to have to um, miss out on the left, and I'm not sure who it's going to be. But obviously, for the price difference, 4.8 million for Rudiger as a very good option. And then for a 1 week punt, obviously Chilwell played 2 out of 3 games on international duty for England. So we imagine that Marcos Alonso, who obviously didn't get picked for Spain, we imagine that he will start against West Brom. West Brom at home being a great fixture. And if you've got a wild card in 31, he's definitely a good punt. 5.7 million. So, I mean, he's expensive, but obviously, if it's just a 1 week punt, that's something that you could easily go for. Just to compare XG plus XA per 90, Marcos Alonso averages one return, either a goal or assist, every 3 games, which is fantastic for a left back or a left wing back. compared to the other two, it's not really a competition. So just to wrap up on Chelsea defenders, if you're going for a wild card in game week 31, have a punt. Maybe go for Alonso or potentially Reece James. And then if you want them more long term, go Aspie if you want the guaranteed starts for a more expensive price, or Rudiger if you don't have quite as much money, but you still are looking for more starts. Then in terms of the hold section, obviously Reguilon got injured against Aston Villa, but Mourinho confirmed in his press conference that he will be playing because Ben Davies, who also came on in that game, apparently got injured previously and was still had a knock from the game in Croatia. So he's confirmed that Davies will play, that Reguilon will play left back for Spurs this weekend. Also, Heung-min Son got injured before the Aston Villa game. He obviously didn't play in that game, but Mourinho has confirmed in his press conference that Sonny will be back, which is great news for all the people that held on to Son last week or before the international break. And then finally, everyone who's looking to move on Ollie Watkins because he hasn't been as prolific or even had as many chances without Jack Grealish. Well, Dean Smith has all but confirmed that Jack Grealish will be back. He's trained all week. He seems in good nick and seems fit enough, so he's definitely put himself up for selection. And when Grealish is up for selection, he plays because he's the club captain and he's the best player at Aston Villa. So yeah, I fully expect to see Jack Grealish back in the starting lineup, and I fully expect to see him creating a lot more chances for Watkins. And yeah, let's hopefully Watkins can get a return. Just in terms of the sell section, I put Gareth Bale on here. Obviously, he made some comments before he went on the international break about using Spurs to sort of get fit for the Euros, and that his plans were always to go back to Real Madrid this summer. I saw that he'd come out and sort of clarified those comments by saying that it's in his contract to go back to Madrid. But just with the fact that he played a lot of minutes for Wales in the international break, Lucas Moura played very well against Aston Villa, and also that Heung-min Son is back from injury, just makes me think, is Bale going to be missing out long term for Spurs now? With a double coming up in 32 and then a blank in 33, is a 9.5 or 9.6 million pound player really someone who you want to have, even though he's a rotation risk? In my opinion, absolutely not. And then avoiding. I don't think there's anyone to actually avoid unless you're going to bring in someone really rogue on a transfer. But if you're wildcarding in 31, then I mean, bring in whoever you want. Like, really, just go for a massive punt this week. Just pick who you think is going to score the most points in game week 30. However, in terms of players who've played a lot over the international break and are rotation risks, Gundogan played 270 minutes. He played every single minute for Germany, much like Rudiger did. And with obviously Chelsea have a lot of defensive options, Manchester City have a plethora of midfield options. So I could really see Gundogan missing out against Leicester, especially with Champions League midweek. The same goes with Mason Mount. He played 225 minutes for England over the course of the international break, and with a relatively easy home fixture versus West Brom and a game versus Porto on Wednesday, I could really see Mount missing out. So looking based on all of those things, we'll go to my team for this weekend. This is my current team. I haven't made any transfers. I have one free transfer, but I think I'm actually going to roll it. I've got Martinez in goal versus Fulham, with Konsa in defence, Shaw and Reguilon, and I've got Lingard, Son, Rafinha and Bruno, and then I've got Bamford, Kane and Watkins. If anyone doesn't play, then I've got a relatively strong bench with Odegaard and Tierney as the first two to come off it. I went with Harry Kane as the captain. I think he's the best option this week. And I feel like his ownership is going to be very high at lots of different ranks. I do think that this week there are a lot of potential captains. I think that Bamford or Rafinha or Bruno Fernandes are also very good captains. Um, and yeah, so that's going to be my team this week. I do not have a wild card left. Some people were asking me on Twitter. I do not have a wild card, but that's sort of why I've left my two free. I've rolled a transfer, so I've got two for next week because there are a couple of fixture swings in 31, primarily Leeds and Aston Villa, who I've got 5 players from combined. They have pretty tough runs up until well, Villa have a very tough run up until 33, the blank, and after that, it doesn't get much easier. So Villa for the run in are not a good team to have. And then in terms of Leeds all the way up until 34, I think, when they play against, I think it may be Brighton. So yeah, I think I'll use my 2 free transfers next week to move on potentially um, some of my Leeds or Aston Villa players. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you have any benching headaches. I've seen loads on Twitter. Yeah, thanks for watching.